Allegedly, Baker Mayfield was pursued by the Ravens during his free agency thing. This is before the request for a trade, before any of that. He was allegedly in conversations with the Baltimore Ravens. I saw a massive smile out of Tone Diggs' face as soon as this came up, and he was hoping that this would be a conversation piece today. What does this mean, you think, in your eyes, Pac-Man? This means that they knew maybe the Lamar Jackson situation was going to come to a head? Do you think they just were looking for another backup, even though Snoop Huntley just made the Pro Bowl and had done very well? What do you think this means, that they were allegedly in conversation with Baker Mayfield? The Ravens have not come out and said that. A report just came out and said that. Sports Illustrated reported about it. They're pretty, Wall Street Journal and New York Times. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
Because you can still get sued. We've learned.
Yeah, right.
So what's real and what isn't real? Who knows? But this is a pretty big little piece of information, I think, when it comes to the entire Lamar Jackson saga. Don't you think, Pac?
I just think this is so fucking disrespectful toward Lamar. I get this is a business, but fucking Baker Mayfield? What? You fucking bring Baker Mayfield in. That's what we doing? We going from Lamar to fucking Baker Mayfield?
They pay, well, if you look at what...
Are we really trying to win or not?
Okay, so if you think, though, the Bucks paid him $8 million?
Yeah, I think.
Up to $8.
Up to $8 million or whatever?
It was like 4 or 5.
So the amount that Baltimore was probably offering was less than that, I would assume. It's not like they were, I don't think any of the money was potentially, although $3 million, $4 million, still eating into what you could pay Lamar Jackson. In my eyes, the way I read it is like they were a little bit worried that there's Lamar not playing football for them. That's kind of what I took from it.
For sure.
But I might be fucking wrong.
But Baker Mayfield? That's the best fucking thing you can bring in? Like, that is so disrespectful to Lamar, bro. Maybe it might just be me. I'm sorry.
Well, with Huntley too. Like they've won with Huntley.
But they're probably like, just in case Huntley gets hurt. They're just probably trying to bring in a veteran backup who they thought they didn't have to pay much. I don't think they were ever thinking that Baker was going to be better than Lamar. Maybe, I don't know. That's
maybe.
But that's why you have to assume that they're operating under the assumption that Lamar's not going to be there, because you're not going to bring Baker in to be a third-string quarterback when you know he said, like, I want to go somewhere where I have a chance to play. Like, that makes no sense.
Why would you get Baker? You've seen what he can do in this division. He was trash.
No, he took the Browns to the playoffs.
First playoff
They beat the Browns in the
1
playoffs.
year.
They beat the Steelers in the playoff.
That was the 1 year. Besides that 1 year, besides the year that they beat the Steelers, tell me another year that Baker Mayfield have done anything.
He had that Thursday Night Football debut.
Yeah.
I was sick.
Yeah, unbelievable. Shots.
Hey.
Beer was, Bud Light was open
Yep,
in every single
that's right.
cooler in the city. That was a big moment. And then the next year after they made the playoffs, remember? Stefanski had him throw it 60 times after saying his shoulder definitely affects his accuracy. We're going to have Chubb on the bench. Baker's going to throw it 60 times
That shit didn't work.
against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And then also, Stefanski, OBJ, big dap up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough.
And they ran.
That's the big question. My big question is like, what the fuck happened behind closed doors? Baker Mayfield was allegedly being kind of talked to by the Baltimore Ravens. This is before the trade ask, I think, before the franchise tag of Lamar Jackson. What does this mean to you whenever it gets reported? And obviously, Sports Illustrated is a pretty, deep history and sport company that I think seems like they have information that I feel like Sports Illustrated knows.
Yeah.
So let's assume that this is being true because it is reported. What does that say to you? For me, it says, okay, there's a chance Lamar Jackson's not going to be here. We need to have 2 quarterbacks. We got Snoop Huntley, who obviously made a Pro Bowl. Wasn't like, obviously, first-string Pro Bowler.
No.
But they won some games, played some football, and he's a player that it seems like everybody likes on the team. And then we need a veteran quarterback because Lamar might not be here. Is that what you read into that? Is that how you heard it, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I took it honestly as, if Lamar goes down for some reason when he gets back here, we would like to have somewhat of an experienced veteran, and Baker does that. But you're right, with Huntley there, it doesn't quite make sense. But what was the deal they were offered him too? Like, it couldn't have been crazy.
It would have to be lower than, we'd assume it'd be lower than what he was offered at Tampa Bay, even though Tampa, Florida has other perks that maybe Baltimore doesn't have. Like, for instance, maybe Lamar Jackson there and Huntley there. Down in Tampa, it's a vastly different situation where he wanted a prove-it opportunity for like $4 million or $5 million, up to $8 million potentially. To be a starter again. It's just fascinating. It's kind of another ripple effect of this whole Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens situation, because he asked for a trade. They were already seemingly planning for him maybe not to play. Oh, we got a little bit of a barn burner kind of brewing here. And will anything surmount from all of it? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think it makes any sense to think that they would go after Baker if there wasn't a thought that, hey, we're not going to have Lamar next year. Like, you're not going to go after Baker to be a third-string quarterback when you already have a guy who went to the Pro Bowl, and, yeah, you can argue that he didn't deserve to go to the Pro Bowl or whatever.
Whoa.
And then thinking that Lamar's still going to be there. Like, they're operating under the assumption, hey, we got to figure something out because we're not going to have Lamar next year.
So what's Baltimore without Lamar? It's Huntley, right? And then
Huntley, yep.
And then he'll just have to prove himself, and then
He's got a 1-year, $2.6 million contract next season.
oh, so they'll be in the exact same situation.
Yeah, place is on fire. My Baltimore.
Whoa!
It feels like Lamar Jackson's not going to play football next year. Because by now, wouldn't you think a team would have already offered him something that he would want to do?
What are your thoughts on it, Peck?
I don't want to say that he wouldn't play football because we haven't seen nobody as far as a
32.5 million.
That's
quarterback
a lot of money.
that set out an entire year that was getting franchised.
Yeah.
But we already know Baltimore is sugar with Lamar and shit without him because it shows. Like, it don't matter that's not a plug-in system where you could just plug a guy in and you can have success. That whole offense is built around Lamar.
Now listen to this conversation that we had earlier today. Obviously, Lamar has the capability to be a dog with his arm if he needs to. There's a little outside read with a end around happening where he was able to take it.